So we are on to
World of Warcraft
WoW Head. Because we do have some narrative. All right, so cinematic, of course. I've forgotten the name of Gamora's sister, and I was going to do a joke, but I couldn't be bothered anymore.
Robot lady, head, blue, robot.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
She's working for Big Villain Man. Now she's eventually, I think, no longer works for Big Villain Man. But anyway, to actually start the point, Thanos walks through the weird arcane time portal to go to the sepulcher of the first ones to get almost certainly the big first ones, cache of technology and things that he can use to remake the universe. Sylvanas gets her soul back and is just like, oh shit, you guys gotta stop him. And she's gone.
You must not let him reach the meat on the table.
Oh yeah, he cannot reach the fade to black because this is less a storytelling cinematic in a game, and this sort of feels more like a trailer. Just because they very much embraced the teases, I suppose. Which, you know what? Okay, fine. Some teases are fine, but yeah, okay. In a different overall storytelling environment, that tease would have been well received and just fine. People are like, oh, where is it next? But I think if people are broadly satisfied, then just feel hard done by. But anyway, to get to the actual point, we do have dialogue in the aftermath.
Very exciting.
So, Thrall says, we thought the jailer was coming to slay the Arbiter, but he absorbed her essence. Now, this is... Okay, well, I'll keep on going. Bolvar, as if his power and the sigil were his all along. Yes, Bolvar, you finally worked out what we, the community, speculated a long time ago. That the Arbiter basically is a robot made to do Zoval's original job. Jaina, jailer be damned, he's got Anduin. No matter where he's gone, we will find him. Maybe she knows. Jaina, yes. Sylvanas said something before she collapsed, but I couldn't make it out. Yes, Jaina, that's very true. Bolvar, my knights will hold her captive here in Orbos. When she awakens, we can begin the interrogation. For now, we should return to Korthia. Let us hope the Primus can explain the jailer's plan and tell us what must be done to stop him. Now, the place where the jailer is going is known to the main archivist fellow or one of the archivist fellows in Korthia. So there are characters in and around the place who know what's going on. And also, there's a final stage of the Covenant chapter, or the Covenant campaign, that's basically called What's Next? Or something like that. What lies ahead?
Yeah,
or
what
something.
lies ahead, yep.
Yeah. And that was not in PTR. Obviously, because it involves Sylvanas, and if it was on PTR, it would have spoiled the raid. Therefore, 5 weeks time Sylvanas wakes up?
Is it 5 weeks time?
4 weeks, 5 weeks?
I have no idea. It's August 17th.
Yeah, so then, I guess, Sylvanas will wake up, the interrogation will happen, she will spill the beans, and a 2-minute long cinematic will play. What will happen in that cinematic, we don't know. I mean, Sylvanas could actually die in that cinematic for all we know, but I do doubt that. So, yeah, there you go. Basically, we are almost certainly going to find out a lot more about the next patch. I think a lot of people maybe didn't realize that there were 3 cinematics data mined, and that this was only the second out of 3. So, yeah, there you go. Now, there is one thing here about the story. When the players or the readers of a story are too far ahead of the story, that can sometimes be an issue. Because, there's foreshadowing, and then there's Sylvanas is having doubts. And then, of course, as a player, you'll be like, well, I wonder why she is having doubts. Oh, why are the creators making her have doubts? Oh, because... And I don't have a problem with the storyline being predictable. I mean, God damn it, we watched Fast 5 2 days ago. Yesterday, even.
We haven't been streaming for a full day. It was still yesterday, Michael.
A story can be predictable and stuff, but I guess it's just we do feel so far ahead of Bolvar that it's just we don't even look up to him in the way we'd look up to Khadgar.
It's really embarrassing.
Khadgar is the man with the plan, right?
Yeah, we're coming from a place of we know everything ahead of time, but it's for people who follow WoW, it must be really difficult for them to deal with, having to deal with players who know more than there's times I feel like we know more than the writers know.
Definitely.
And then that's a fucking joke, Mike.
Oh, okay.
The joke, you fucking good. Anyway, yeah, it's it feels like we're on the level they are, and then obviously there's players who aren't. so they have to kind of write something that makes sense for both of them, which I think leaves them in a really kind of difficult place where Bolvar has felt utterly useless, and every time I see an NPC been like, what's happening? I'm just like, I know all this. I don't know how much I know versus how much my character knows, but I'm pretty sure my character reads all this stuff and I can put 2 and 2 together. So, you know, like, when's my character going to go into the Sepulchre of Knowledge? You know all the hints we heard? Yeah, so we should like, I feel like if my character were leading the show, it would be like, oh, right, straight to the Archivist. Archivist, tell us, we don't need the Primus, where are we going?
Yeah.
But, you know.
So it's that thing where maybe I like foreshadowing a lot of stuff, but maybe they did it just a little smidge too much.
I definitely think so.
But overall, then, what's going to happen is Sylvanas will be, interrogated. And what's interesting here, and Wowhead did point it out, nobody's commented on her eye or the complete soul thing. So I'm wondering if this is a case where, because we read a fairy tale book, we will now know more about Sylvanas than Bolvar, Jaina, Thrall, and Bane. In which case, it won't be that satisfying seeing those things play out. So it's sort of weird. She's going to be interrogated. Eventually, there'll be a trial. She must stand trial at Pandaria.
Yeah, no, it's they're going to have loads of dialogue to kind of like, maybe Sylvanas will wake up concerned or acting very different. They're not going to believe her, and then it'll be weird. But man, I'm sorry, I'm just too distracted. Because someone in chat said, Dark Scream Android said, imagine Bolvar actually gave his daughter the time of day and we had some build up instead of Mr. Crispy's bizarre Korthia adventure.
Mr. Crispy! Mr. Crispy! That's really good.
Mr. Crispy's bizarre adventure.
Mark S says Verisa knows. Yes, she does, and that's why we need to get Verisa in here. Yeah, it's like, Talia, come on. Where's the characterful stories of these people?
Don't have time, sorry. Don't have time. We don't have time to do Sylvanas justice. How do we have time to do Jaina, Bolvar, Talia, any of the Primus people, any of the Covenant leaders, any of the characters who came with us, any of the characters who didn't come with us, any of the characters left in Azeroth? Yeah. There's just a complete lack of story content to actually drive that stuff.
Yeah, it's because it all has to fit into one quest line per week. Right? Because they just do it like that. Oh my god, Mr. Crispy. We're definitely going to call him that in Guild. That's great.
I'm dying of Mr. Crispy. Like, Jesus Christ. How have I not read that before? Oh man. Yeah, no, you're right. They aren't characters. They are cardboard cutout placeholders. That's what it feels like. It's just this character's here.
It's like, we know that the WoW team deeply care about all this stuff. Yep. It would be really nice if more was in the game. Yeah, that's what it is.
Remember how in Legion the main character didn't once interact with his literal twin brother?
Oh yeah. That was very, very, very embarrassing that Illidan didn't spend any time with... Oh, actually, I need to rebalance this camera. It's funkily placed.
Is it? Okay. Oh man, that's funny. This may be a bumpy ride. Whoa, whoa.
It's Star Trek!
So that might make it difficult for you. Sorted?
Yep. Well, we are on the island of Ireland, and according to Star Trek Picard, there are Irish Romulans.
Nice.
Because, Star Trek Picard.
Yep.
I will not talk about that show because it kind of hurts.
Yep, let's talk about World of Warcraft. So is there anything left to talk about this? Because I think it's like...
No, that's it.
No, okay.
That's it.
All right, well, good night, everyone. See you later.
Bye. No, not really. I mean, almost, but not quite yet.
Yeah, no, hang about it for a bit longer, but...
Oh, Mr. fucking Crispy. That's so good.
That's... Fuck me. Oh, but the bizarre Korthia adventure, that's completely destroyed me. Completely destroyed me. Seeing Sylvanas have her soul returned made me think...
Good one, Mike.
If those crystals are souls, whose soul was used to make Anduin's Wormblade? Was it a nobody or some prominent character, perhaps Arthas? If it's not Arthas, I will eat a very small portion of my shoe because it has to be Arthas. Yeah. Him reaching through the portal to grab a soul was too obvious. The choice is too obvious. Anduin is just Arthas, but different. He might even be related to Arthas. If some family tree allegations are to be made true.
Ooh, yeah.
So that's, at least I think so. But it's the idea of it's absolutely 100% Arthas. And then later on, we're going to get to the point where it's, we're going to get to the point where, well, maybe we'll get to the point, maybe they don't have time because, we're are they going to do it in 9.2? So when are they going to finish the story? Anyway, yeah, so we'll have, it'll definitely be Arthas' soul, and they'll definitely do the whole bit with Uther, a whole bit with Anduin coming back to his senses or being restored, or maybe if they want to be extremely subversive and ruin any sort of thoughts I had for Anduin's character being resolved, they will actually keep him a bad guy after having the Arthas and Uther stuff play out. But it's so obvious to me that Anduin is Arthas too, in a different way. And that's exactly why That's exactly why.
Do you know what I'd like?
What?
Anduin to be having some interesting things happening in a way where, it's Anduin's fault.
That'd be interesting, except the problem is that the entire idea of domination set up to not make that actually work or happen, which is really annoying.
Basically, they're doing this so that Anduin can have even more trauma, so that trauma can motivate what he does in the next thrust of the story.
Yeah, the Jailer 2 will be like, Anduin, serve. And he's like, I'll never serve. And then he gets his half soul put back or something. I don't know.
Oh, no. Yeah, we've got... the firstest ones, the firsterer ones.
No, it's the 0th ones because they're going all fractal and mathematical. It's the 0th ones. And I think Luke and Gil had a joke about that earlier today that I can't remember. Sorry, Luke. But it is, it's the first ones and then it's the 0th ones. And I guess we go to the negative ones.
Whoa.
Or we go to the infinity ones and then it's the, No, they can't use No, I was about to say they can't use infinity twice. They've already put the infinity symbol on Zoval's chest orb. That went into his chest and turned it into a Drust chest, which is kind of let's not think about that. But they've already used eternity, so I guess they have to wait a while before they can use infinite for the dragons, and then I guess we'll have we'll go kind of Mr. No, I suppose the infinite looked like the kind of black and white, let's say the Mr. Negative from Spider-Man. We'll go, we've got the first ones, we've got the 0th ones, we've got the infinite ones, we've got the negative ones, But yeah.
Yes, the imaginary ones were imaginary numbers. Yes.
Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah, the Mandelbrot ones. Mandelbrot ones, the fractal ones. Luke said we defeat the 0th ones at the Alundus core. Oh man.
Until eventually, it's the 15th it's the 25th expansion of World of Warcraft, and we're fighting sentient shader code.
Sounds good, actually. Sounds fun.
It turns out we bury so deep into creation that the final boss is actually the fucking WoW engine itself, and that's how they end World of Warcraft.
That would be kind of...
That would be a pretty wild meta commentary that would also completely... No, they're not going to do that.
That would be extremely, extremely Kino-like. I'd clap.
Oh, dear.
Clap big time.